Welcome to Nexthermal's special webinar. Today we're excited to peel the curtains and share with you more details about a new product that we've specially designed for ease of use. And we're excited to introduce you to Nexthermal Control System. So thank you really for joining us today. And we've spent a great deal of time designing and building the best control system that we can find. So let's get right into it. My name is Rishi. Today I'll be joined by Jeff Wheeler. Jeff has been here with Nexthermal for a really long time, and he carries a wealth of experience. The kind of experience you get by consistently solving tough problems, and he's been doing that for decades now. I'm really excited that he'll be doing the Q&A and answering all your questions in the second half of this webinar. Somewhere in the middle, he will also be doing a product demo to show you how we have developed a true plug-and-play control system that is super easy to set up and really can get you going within minutes. All right, so for those of you who are new to us, I'd like to take a moment to share a bit about Nexthermal. We're a pioneer in custom heat solutions in North America. We form the bedrock for many of the critical industries here in North America and around the world. And we have decades of experience really solving tough, complex problems for our customers, and we've successfully done that for a really long time. And you can think of us as the innovator behind innovators, especially when it comes to heat. In many of the industries that touch our day-to-day lives, we've solved some really critical problems for our customers. For example, in 3D printing, we've custom designed modules with precise thermal management for many of the top 3D companies in the world. In food industries, as you can imagine, the entire food industry runs on heat, which is really our core strength. So naturally, we have worked with very well-known home brands to optimize thermal performance for a variety of their applications. We've worked in medical and packaging as well. In medical, we've worked on devices using patient heating during surgery, recovery systems, and supporting procedures in the medical industry. In packaging, this is one of those areas where Nexthermal has consistently been an industry standard in flexible heating solutions that enable unique product designs. We all know that the world is constantly changing towards more complex and dynamic packaging, and we have continued to evolve our technology and product offerings to better suit today's and the needs of the future. So continuing on that note, as you can see, we have a wide range of experiences in a number of different industries that all use heat. In fact, our biggest strength is looking at the problems of our customers from out-of-the-box perspectives and solving them using our core technical expertise. Here you'll see some examples of our thermal design solutions to various problems that our customers experience fairly regularly. In a nutshell, anything that deals with supplying heat to your system, that's really where we come in. And to put everything together, we provide a complete turnkey package consisting of heat, control system, and sensors that is built to optimize performance for your specific needs. In essence, we make heat work. Real quick about our mission and vision. Very recently, a few years ago, in order to adapt to changing times, Nexthermal has updated its mission and vision to align more towards a brighter strategic future. And so our focus as a company has always been on discovering and delivering thermal solutions that make an impact on everyone we connect with, our customers, our employees, and including our vendor partners. So every year we continue to embark on a number of initiatives with the goal of serving our communities as well. Now, this brings me to our vision. Our vision reflects the direction in which we think we can make the biggest impact as a company, which is to earn worldwide leadership by really and truly focusing on improving our customers' competitive advantage using our expertise of smart heat management solutions, which really is by far our biggest strength. Okay, now getting to the purpose of today's webinar, control system. What really is a control system? There are 4 components of a heating system. The first is the part being heated. That is your application in which you're applying heat. The second is the heater, which is used for heating mass at a certain temperature at the desired location. Third is a sensor. It helps sense the temperature of the mass that's being heated at. And fourth is the control and supporting system. So you can think of a controller as the brain of the system because it controls the power input to the heater for maintaining desired set temperatures. Now, at Nexthermal, we've developed a truly plug-and-play solution that is adaptable. Given that we live in a mobile world today, this controller also connects and is set up easily through your mobile phone app as well. In a nutshell, we're really excited to announce our new product control system that we've spent a great deal of time thinking through what problems our customers are facing, getting the feedback, and really building a plug-and-play solution. It's adaptable to your needs. And let's talk a little bit about the features. By adaptable, essentially it means that it's portable. It can run on 110 to 240 volts. It can run on more than one heater, has ramp soak functionality, high amp rating, etc., etc. Now, industry standard communications protocol, RS485, that allows you to connect with your existing system. By plug and play, it's a really simple system where the heater and the temperature sensor can be plugged into the side of the box. No electrician required, no hard wiring required. As you may know, NEMA 4X rating applies to certain hazardous conditions. So our controller being NEMA 4X rated, it can withstand indoor-outdoor use and offer a superior level of protection from harsh elements, corrosion resistance, splashing water, and hose-directed water. It's a very robust system and can withstand harsh industrial environments. It's a fully featured control system. Now let's talk about safety. Polycarbonate enclosure is lightweight, it enhances portability, and it helps achieve an affordable price point. We've put a lot of thought into making sure the cabinet has a lockout, tag-out capabilities, fuses for protection of individual circuits. The key lock system prevents people from getting into the cabinets to protect from electrocution hazard. The alarm output protects the device and the application from unintended operation at the limit temperatures. You can program offline before turning the heat on to protect from inadvertent damage to the tool or the device being heated. When we started developing this, we realized quickly that we need to continue to build on our success of the first controller and first design. So we also offer 4-channel controller if you need more than one control loop. It has the same feature set. It has the same app. Just like you can control, instead of one, you get 4 controllers in one box. So if you have any more questions about this, feel free to give us a call or would like to inquire more about it. I will share the contact details later in this webinar. As Nexthermal, we really focus on making things easier for our customers. We're a solution-driven company. We wanted to not just offer a solution, but we want to go a step beyond that, and we're willing to do the setup for you to save the critical time when you place the order for the controller. So just let us know when you place the order, your requirements, and as a complimentary service, we will pre-program the controller to your requirements so that you don't have to, and it saves you time. In addition, we also ship the controller with a USB stick, pre-installed with PDF instruction manual for your reference. In fact, all of this information can be found on our website at your convenience. You can just go to nexthermal.com/controllers. Let's talk a little bit about the app. We decided to build an app to complement the controller so that it creates a more interactive user experience for you. So using the app easily allows you to set up the controller interactively using your smartphone, thereby really reducing the amount of time you need to set it up. Currently, this app is available on Google Store. You can download it for free. It's called Next Connect app. And we're also exploring adding this app to the Apple Store as well. So if you again have any questions on the Apple Store front, feel free to give us a call for more details. You can also get the link to this app on our website, nexthermal.com/controllers. Once you go to the App Store, this is what you will look like. So here's the Next Connect logo. So when you see it, you know it's from Nexthermal. Now, that being said, while we're talking about the setup, Jeff Wheeler will be walking you through a typical setup to show you how simple and easy to use our new control system is. So I'm going to play a video.
Hi, my name is Jeff Wheeler. I'm with Nexthermal Corporation. I'm here to talk a little bit about the programming of our new temperature controller system that we've developed for the market. Before I get into the actual programming technique, I want to talk a little bit about the resources that are available to you as a customer. When you decide to buy one of these on our website, we will have available two resources. One is a form, and you can download this form. This is going to be a document you can complete, and the form goes through all the options that the controller is capable of being programmed with. And you can fill this out, send it in with your order for the controller, and we will go through and pre-program the controller with the settings that you've indicated on this form. And that means when you receive the controller, it's a matter of plugging in the heater, plugging in the sensor, and turning the power on and using it right out of the box. So this is a resource available to you that makes it even easier for you to install and use. If for some reason you're not able to do this or don't want to do this, in our website we also have the manual for the controller. This manual is 54 pages long, and it gets very much into the weeds if you want to. So it depends on your level of experience programming controllers and what kind of functions you want to have done. You're welcome to download this and read it, and also follow this for programming too. What I'm going to do basically today is to cover how to turn it on, how to set the temperature, how to set the thermocouple input, and program the auto tuning function so the controller will automatically learn its PID values. All right. So with that being said, I've already plugged the controller into power. I've already set a thermocouple into the input port on the side here, so it will register a temperature. I do not have a heater connected. I do not have an alarm or anything like that connected, but those are all available for you to use. And when you buy a controller, it comes with all those plugs already ready to be installed. So first step is turn the main power on. You notice nothing else lit up other than the Nexthermal logo. This indicates that the control panel has power, and power is applied to the input terminals here. So there's live electricity inside, but nothing is going to happen yet. Nothing is active on the side panel yet. To turn the controller on, I turn the controller switch on, and it will light up. Now the green light will indicate that the controller has power, and the display turns on. And you can see it's registering 24.3 degrees C in here, and it's just sitting there idle right now. So the very first thing we want to do when we set up the controller is we need to tell it what kind of sensor we have attached to it. This can use a type J, a type K, it can use an RTD, it can use a number of different types of sensors as inputs. In the manual on page 12 is a chart, and it shows all the different types of sensors that you can plug into the controller. So I'm going to go through and show you how to change the thermocouple input on this controller. Right now, to access the menu, there are three levels of menu. The first level is location 800. So I'm going to press and hold the N button for a couple seconds, and you can see the control change to LOC, LOC 0. To access the menu, I need to scroll over and scroll up to 800. Once I do that and hit the enter button, the display changes. High alarm limit is the first selection. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to hit the enter button and scroll through until you see the word INT. INT is the sensor input, and you can see on the manual it says right here, select INT function. The number corresponds to the type of sensor. So right now it's set to 0. 0 is a type K. Let's say instead I'm using a type J, I need to change this number to 5. Change the number to 5, I just use the up arrow to 5, and I hit the enter button, and it moves on to the next prompt automatically. I'm not going to worry about what DP means at this point. Now I just told it that whatever sensor I plug in is going to be a type J thermocouple, and when I get to the main temperature screen, it's going to register the correct temperature. This is measuring right now in degrees C. Let's say I want to change it to degrees F. Once again, press and hold. Location 800. Over. Up. Enter. And in this case, I'm going to be looking for the type, or for the C or F. And that is going to be DU. I'm going to change this to F. Enter. And now it is showing degrees F. That is the active temperature. The number down below here is your set point that you're going to be running the control system to monitor and maintain. To change this value, I don't need to get into a menu. I just use the over arrow. And let's say I want to run it 200 degrees. 200 degrees, notice there's a decimal point here, degrees F, and as soon as it stops flashing, I didn't even have to hit the enter button, it's now programmed to 200 degrees. So if I had a heater plugged into this, it would be climbing, this temperature would be climbing, this is your actual temperature, until it reached 200 degrees F. Now if this is the first time you're using a controller, you may need to do an auto tuning function. And let me just recap real quick here. To enter the menu, in our manual, we have step-by-step pictures showing the inputs that you need to do to make the changes. This is how you change the thermocouple, for instance. This is the next step for auto tuning. So auto tuning is very simple. I'm just going to press the arrow button for 2 seconds. It says it's in off mode right now. I'm going to change that to on and enter. And now you can see it's alternating between the set point and AT. That means if there was a heater connected to the control panel right now, it would be powering the heater up. It might go over set point. It could go over set point by about 30 degrees, and it will modulate between up and below set point as the controller learns the proportional, integral, and derivative bands in order to maintain the temperature at set point. Once the process is done, the AT will stop flashing, and the temperature that you're asking it to control to and the actual temperature will be very, very tightly controlled because the controller has learned what the process is asking the controller to adapt to. Another way of programming the controller is through our Next Connect app that is available on our website for download, and it's exclusively for Android. We do not support Apple at this time. So if you have an Android device, you're able to plug your phone into the controller and directly program the controller through a USB cable. So in the kit, when you buy the controller, it comes with a USB cable and a USB adapter, depending on what port, either C or B, that your phone uses, you're able to plug your phone in. So on the side of the box, here is a USB port, and it's a simple matter of plugging in the USB cable, which you have to do twice because you never get it right the first time, into your phone. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've already downloaded the Next Connect app. And when you start the app, that's what the logo looks like. When you start the app, it comes up with a warning box. Basically, don't drive with this application operating. It says something similar, but I'm not going to read it. Just hit the OK button to clear the warning box. The display at this point is blank because I'm not plugged into anything, but as soon as I plug in the USB cable, because the controller is on, the display will update once I hit the OK button to the same temperature that's on the display is now shown here in green. That's the current temperature. You see the set point value is set to 200 degrees, just like the controller says 200 degrees. In this application, you can very easily set alarm conditions. You can set the temperature units. You can set auto tuning mode. Right now it's flashing. It means that the auto tuning mode is active, which is shown here from the AT flashing. I'm going to turn that off. And running status is indicated stop mode because it's not running any kind of programming. The controller is capable of ramp soak programming. That's where the run stop comes in. There is a second screen here that is more advanced, so you can set alarm output mode. So if alarm 1 is triggered, what is supposed to happen? Is it supposed to sound alarm through the output contacts? RS-485 communication settings, which are handled through the USB cable, so we don't have to worry about those. Advanced control parameters, like control mode is set right now for fuzzy plus PID. We could also change that mode to different types of PVT, SVT, but on off. But typically what you want to stay is fuzzy PID. Control hysteresis is something you might have to play with once you are using the controller and you find that it's not accurately maintaining set point. That might be a value that you want to work with. PID values are all settable on this screen also, but if you've done auto tuning, you won't even have to mess with those. So essentially, to program here, I'm going to set my temperature set point, set for 200 degrees right now. I'm going to change this to 400 degrees, for instance. Save. 400 degrees, 400 degrees. So rather than messing with going through the LOC, setting the 800 level, scrolling through all the inputs that are not important to you, you can very easily set it on the phone. And once you're done, unplug it, and the controller is ready to operate. One other feature that the NextConnect app has to help a user program the controller, if there's any questions through the 3 bars up here at the top in the menu, there is troubleshooting, and troubleshooting lists a common problem that you might have and a potential solution. So sensor error, blinking text, if you click on that, it explains a little bit about what the controller is trying to tell you to do and what's a good way to fix the problem. If you have any questions about the way this is programmed or any questions about the controller whatsoever, feel free to reach out to your local sales representative and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right, so hope you enjoyed the video and the demo to see how the controller is set up. And I hope you had a chance to see how easy it is to set it up. And I'd like to thank you for joining us and giving us your time, and really appreciate you being a part of our Nexthermal community and for your support. Jeff, take it away.
All right, thank you, Rishi. Thank you very much. Just point of clarification, when Rishi references that I've been here for decades, that doesn't sound quite as good. I've been here for 29 years, so I'm not that old yet. I know there was an early question about amperage rating of the system. Right now, the single zone controller is rated for 15 amps load. We've tried to limit the current because the size of the cabinet was important. We want it to be small, portable. It isn't an NEMA 4X enclosure, so we don't want to have a fan or any kind of maintenance thing that happens on the inside to cool the relay. That limited the current that we could pass through it. The intention is that it's going to be standalone system, maybe on a small application somewhere that's not being controlled by a machine PLC type control system or a test lab setup. So 15 amps should be adequate. If a customer does need more current than that, the 4-channel version holds 15 amps times 4, so total 60 amps, and that could be refitted to a single zone with higher current. But in that case, the heatsink is not passively cooled, it's external to the cabinet, and we can handle higher currents that way. So that was one of the early questions that we had about current. So there's a question, is the control panel 508 rated? I don't understand what that rating means. So I would have to do some research on it. I will tell you it is an NEMA 4X enclosure. It is a polycarbonate, so if that has anything to do with food rating, that might be an issue because normally they want stainless. I would strongly encourage you, if you have a unique setup, that you use that download form that's available on our website that we referenced, that I showed in the very beginning of the video. Fill that out. We're happy to set the controller up for you. Test it here, make sure that everything's working appropriately. Okay, another question here. All single phase. Yes, these are single phase units. At 15 amps, it can be run between 110 and 240 volt is the way it's currently designed. So that would be single phase. So the components are all, so the question is, what is the certification rating? We have not approached UL as an enclosure to have the entire device UL rated. There's a significant cost to that. So we did debate whether to do that early on, but because of the cost, we decided to source all the components based on UL. So each part in that cabinet is UL listed. We do not carry UL on the cabinet itself, but it's fairly simple to get a UL certification on the cabinet if the market asks us to do that. But we were trying to approach it from a price sensitive perspective also. So we didn't throw that into the pot initially, but if people demand it, we can certainly do that. Got a question on delivery. So we have these available in inventory, ready to ship. Adding the programming doesn't change the shipping time. We can do that the same day we ship the unit. So we have in stock available the way they're configured right now. There's a question about plugs on the inputs if they're supplied. And as a complete assembly, it comes ready to go with the mating plugs for the heater, for the sensor, for the alarm panel, and the RS-485 connection. It comes with a USB cable that you saw me use in the video, and the USB connector. It's a two-sided connector, so a B and C connector, depending on which Android device you have. That is all included in the package, so it is literally ready to go. If you buy the heater and the thermocouple or the sensor from us at the same time you buy the cabinet, we can put the plugs on the heater and the sensor also. So we can sell it as a complete, ready to plug in. You don't have to do any additional work. But as a kit, it comes with all that included, the spare fuses and okay. And there was a question about private labeling. As you notice with the controller, we have the Nexthermal logo light up on the controller when the power is turned on to the unit. Private labeling brings the element of problem with how to handle the logo. I guess if there is a commitment for a volume, we could look at having that front panel custom printed with a different logo on it. So I would not necessarily rule it out, but that would drive the decision on whether we can do a private labeling or not.
So thank you all for joining. Really appreciate your time, and hopefully we were able to answer your questions. If you still have any more questions or things you would like to ask, feel free to reach out to us. Our phone number is 269-964-0271, or you could also email us, sales@nexthermal.com. So thank you so much once again for your time, and we look forward to seeing you in our next webinar.